Hello VC. So here it is. A new stream of new releases. 2021 turns out to be a pretty awesome year so far. Last week I did a stream featuring some recent picks that were I had just discovered. Like I had just gotten them. I had no distance. I had not really any. I was basically putting them on as as I got them. For the ones that I'm gonna play for the next half hour or so, I had some time to reflect a little bit, to delve into them. So first is what is playing right now in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. Nuke by Thomas Könner. Thomas Könner is a German sound artist, also techno producer under the Porter Ricks name. I got quite a few of his records. Most of them were originally released on CD, but got reissued on vinyl like 10 years ago or so, the earlier stuff. And the first one I got from him was this. It's a picture disc with both poles, and it's very noisy. I was almost returning the record when I got it, and then I realized it was part of the concept. So it's not his best record, not the most pleasurable to listen to. But then he got ones like this one, La Barca. This one is absolutely gorgeous. This is exactly what you're hearing. This is ambient soundscapes. Very, very rich in harmonies. This is music to sit to ponder, and I don't think there's any attack at any point in this record. This was originally released on a CD compilation from Big Cat. It was a 4 CD box set with some pretty amazing stuff. There was a CD of Nimitu, which is KG Haino, folk music guys, very cool. Hello Mick, hello Lars Martin. There was also a Paul Schütze record and a Pauline Oliveros CD. But the Thomas Könner one, what we're hearing now, that was really something that I believe deserved a wider exposure. So Nuke, music from the Arctic, beyond the Arctic Circle. And yeah, one of the records that it's a reissue, obviously, but something that I'm really happy to get on vinyl because it suits the format. Actually, I know a lot of people think that this kind of music is better on CD, but on CD, I don't know. That would be like 70 minutes or so. It's easier that it becomes the background music to something else. With the vinyl, I know why I'm here. We've been there before. Okay, something different. this stream is going to be pretty much on the ambient side of things. Hey Miguel, I think Miguel is into that. This is music of transparent means. Music of transparent means is a free-form ensemble from Brisbane in Australia. Probably one of the very few actors of avant-garde from that area. It's the work of a guy called Alex Carpenter. And these are recordings from like a local culture pub where he used to perform. On this, you got people on acoustic piano, samples, cymbals, tenor saxophone, alto saxophone, guitar, keyboard. So it's kind of a La Montaigne indebted project. The piece we're listening to right now, sampling, is called Emerging Like an Infant from the House of Truth. Okay, a bit pompous, but so basically the four pieces, you got it now. It's this swarm of sounds. With a few harmonic inclinations. It just goes on and on and on and grows and fills your mental space. Indeed, Miguel, you need a good pressing for an ambient. Good pressing and good mastering, good cutting, a good cutting. So I don't know much about this guy. I'm not aware of anything else he's done that got released, at least on vinyl. I hear that he moved to the US 10-15 years ago. But this is a fine example of the Brisbane Australian scene of avant-garde music. Funny, Miguel mentions Kelly Malone, as she's mostly released on a label called Hollow Ground, which just released this. Lawrence English, who is a fellow Australian, who runs the label 40 Rooms, one of the better avant-garde ambient labels around. Even experimental conceptual music. He releases a ton of stuff. It's almost impossible to keep track of what is going on, you see. But for this record that I'm going to play now, he decided to release it on the Hollow Ground, a label for whom he does all the mastering. And this is very much a COVID age record, as it's solo organ. The organ also being the choice instrument of Kelly Malone, who was released on Hollow Ground. Much more brooding, much more bass frequencies. It could could very well be almost menacing, or there's a warmth. All organ recorded at the Old Museum, Brisbane as well. Huh. July, November 2020. Observation in Breath is the name of the record. It's interesting because I suppose since this is made from the organ, which deals with air, its pipes, etc. You know what an organ is. So I guess that's the concept of the record, observation of breath. The track we're listening to right now is called Torso. Pretty dramatic cover art. Miguel. You should check a record from Stuart Dempster. It's only a CD, it's a new album called The Cistern Chapel. Very close to the recent Paulino Libero Stuart Dempster record on an important record. So this is absolutely perfect for me. When people ask me, when people discuss with me ambient, and there are all these ways of doing ambient that I kind of feel jaded about, or not really, I don't feel that. There's no attack anywhere here. There are harmonic shifts. There's a pretty straightforward harmonic system, and not a melody, but like as close as it can to melody, if you consider ambient, true ambient. Yeah, all the wind instruments are pretty fascinating to me. Because of my recent kick of like Hungarian folk music, I got so much into bagpipe. But this is quite harrowing. There's a lot of current composers who work around these sounds. Like there's this Swedish composer called Maria Horn. She's great. I think she's more interesting than Kelly Mello. Now I get a little bit tired of Kelly Mello, if one can be. Next is gonna be much more intense. Next is Markus Schmidt. Does this annoy you? Is this music unpleasant? Well, I think it's supposed to be, and that's what was interesting to me. Markus Schmidt, for people of my generation, he was famous for his project called Pluramon in the 90s, early 2000s on Mille Plateaux. and he's been since then, ever since, a sound explorer. And this one, which is two albums, like one project for each side, and we're listening to the Fortuna Ribbon, which is a series of pieces related to sounds that you may be perceived when there is damage in the ear, when you research hearing loss. So all these frequencies are actually meant to trigger something in the ear, and it's not algorithm music. It's I don't remember exactly what it means again exactly, but it's DPOAs, which is, I don't remember exactly. I researched it, but this is in the field of research for around the hearing, and this could almost be like torture music, as these sounds are meant to be disturbing, beyond displeasing, because it's not even a matter of taste. I actually find this very beautiful, but I also acknowledge that it's fucking annoying and destroying the ear in a way. So why get this, you ask? Well, because it's interesting, and also it's interesting to challenge yourself in that sense also. See, the next piece, it starts with a very cool synthesis sound, which will be coupled with another frequency that will make it challenging to listen to. This came out on Mego Edition. And yeah, I've listened to the whole side 2 days ago of this. And this is the more mellow track, if I remember correctly. And I don't know, I really love this. I love that it exists. I love that how it makes me think about music and sound. And I love that I find beauty in it, despite it being also hurting in a way. Now, for the few of you who have actually coped with this, here's the dessert. Yeah, I'm not just about torturing you guys. MC. Rodeluse, Alexander Schmidt, Vitus Land. This is a record from '83 that commands quite a lot of money nowadays. So this is a very welcome reissue on Bureau B. So Hans Joachim Rodeluse from Cluster. This is right around his Lost Vandal period. Alexander Sejcek, he used to be, he's a saxophone player, but he was a composer, and he did music for stage, screen, theater, dance in the 70s. And he was a pal of Rodeluse, who was mostly into electronic music. So this is both of them like meeting halfway through in a way. It's a beautiful record. Pretty ugly cover though, but or pretty insignificant. You can hear on some of the tracks on this LP how Rodeluse is using loops of his own playing. Here you can hear the synth with the bass, very beautiful sound. But there's also the keyboard, piano in the background, and that's probably just him recycling or repurposing like some improv on the keyboard. It's a weird one since I think it was released on I think it was originally released on a major label, probably a very, very small pressing that they didn't care about. I got a quite huge fetish for Rodeluse. I've seen him live a few times. I know a few people in the VC really, really like him. Sherv, I think he's a big fan of his. I'm sure Michael Valentini as well. He's been having a renaissance in the past 15 years or so. But his discography is still withholding quite a few nuggets. Like that. Now, new album from a local Swedish composer, Kaisa Lingard. Very cool cover. Momentary harmony. Here she is. She's pretty young, and this came out with a set of postcards art that she did. There's lots of field recordings in this with composition. There's like 6 musicians plus her, and yeah, I really, really like this. This is a very delicate album, quite fragile in a way, how everything holds together. Oops. That happens, the nightmare of DJs. Hey Steve. Yeah, Steve. The artist is for that record I played that covered Terry Riley. That's the cover art. and the artist is Ricciarda Belgiojoso and Walter Prati, Prati. This is really, really beautiful. Now, a record that is quite conceptual from a very conceptual artist, indeed. This is a, yeah, you got it. Let's see. So this is Carlos Casas. I believe he's from Portugal, but I'm not sure. So there's a code with it for the original field recordings that are being used here and transformed. There's also a 7-inch with an interview of a bat hunter from this tribe from the Filipino islands where this was recorded. And there's a CD with some remixes. But this is Carlos Casas' work. That's what he usually does. He kind of reinvents romantically and magically the geography of remote areas of the world, this planet. I believe this is where this was recorded, like from above. And yeah, he calls this a sonic exorcism filled with ancestral frequencies, haunted ghosts, and other animistic spirits from the Pinatubo forests. I got some records. I think I got a record of Carlos Casas with Charlemagne Palestine. I'm not sure. I think so. No, I got one of the same label. Yeah, since I got it, this record has been really fascinating me. Pretty cool package. Kamana, it's called. I mean, in this day and age when everything is being done before, or so we think, believe, and field recordings, ethnographical recordings are kind of really, really becoming the very last El Dorado for sound explorers. Repurposing these recordings towards a very unique and personal aim. That's a journey I want to take quite often. Hey John. Just wanted to play quickly again a little more of Kaisa Lingard, as this album is really, really speaking to me. Exactly, Miguel. Originally, I played this at 45 RPM, and it was pretty cool as well. One of these perks of vinyl. There's something quite romantic about this, the whole absurdity of it, like a 7-inch of an interview in a language you will never understand, of a bat, a cave bat hunter. Actually, I've listened to it twice. Hey, Bodo. Believe it or not, beyond the field recordings in this, the instrumentation is fairly traditional. There's like saxophone, cello, koto, guitar, lute, piano, bass, and vocals. Now, the record released on Room 40, the label from Lawrence English, whom we listened to earlier with his organ album that I put somewhere. This is Beatrice Ferreira. I think it's the 3rd record of hers that is being released this year. She's really having a renaissance, or people embracing her. Hey Alex. Yeah, you do that. I'll leave this on anyways. So this is a piece from '74 Canto del Loco, Madman song. This tape piece was composed with an AKS synthesizer and was commissioned by GMEB, which is le groupe de musique expérimentale de Bourges. Bourges, a city in France, experimental music group. I was interested to try and give life to the electronics through using a patch that sounded like the human voice, and through this approach, try to evoke the melopeia of a madman. So this is purely experimental music, almost in the sense of experimenting. Nancy. Well, it's music made by this lady. It's I. Happy Thanksgiving, yeah. Oh, the stereo in this is really amazing. Hey Rob. Next one will be more up to your liking. Don't be a Rob, don't be a Robbie. Stop stealing Robbie's jokes, Rob. I don't know. Probably around 13,000 something. And much more if you count the CDs. I'll tell you what, Rob, I really like this. Beatrice Ferreira. This is there's like 5 pieces of hers on this, ranging from 1971 to 2015. Most of them are from the past 10 years or so. More than half of them at least. Canto del Loco. Next is the new album from a duo of women who met in the late 70s, early 80s. They were 2 orphans. They met they were doing a pilgrimage to in France, and on the way there, one of the 2 was going there with her parents and both died. And the other one was already an orphan. And they became friends in an orphanage and began to do some music under the name of Duffy, two girls. They released 2 albums in the early 80s that were fantastic. One a few years ago that was so-so, and this one that just came out. So Duffy is actually not 2 women who are orphans. It's Simon Fisher Turner, former like David Bowie wannabe child star, who soon evolved into avant-garde music and did music for movie soundtracks for Derek Jarman, amongst other things. And his 2 first records with his friend, music producer, is they are amazing, really amazing. So it's cool to see new recordings of theirs. And this is just gorgeous. Tension in this is so heck yeah. Cheers, Alex. Check the video later. There's a few bits you should enjoy. It's pretty funny as well. Inside the record, there's an essay from each of them in character, explaining the condition, how this was recorded, made, their psychological and physical state.
Il a pu m'arriver de vous donner le sentiment que ce n'était pas mon souci.
Macron? I believe this is Macron, the French president.
Je sais aussi qu'il m'est arrivé de blesser certains d'entre vous par mes propos.
Now, an album from a composer that is she's a beloved avant-garde experimental music composer, Catherine Christer Henniks, Swedish-born composer, very important in the realm of drone music. This is a live performance with a brass, a chorus, computer, live electronics. It's 4 sides for the same piece of this very mystical performance. Alan Static Traveler just did a video about mysticism in music, and we had like kind of a small exchange in the comment section there about how some of you who follow these streams and videos know I consider all of this music we're listening to here belonging to the psychedelic experience, or to a psychedelic experience. This is straight up spiritual mysticism. The fact that it is psychedelic is secondary in a way, as the intent there is pretty obvious. Full written in Arabic. The singers are Catherine Christer-Enix, Amirata Kidabambi, and Ahmet Mushin Toussaint. Cheers, Rod. RTLF. Only a couple more, I guess. We're not too far away. This is kind of like maybe in between La Montillon and Terry Riley Don Cherry. There's of course a huge part of this that comes from Middle East mysticism, either from Turkey, Iran, all these countries. I really love Catherine Christer-Enix, but there's been a few releases of her earlier this year and last year that I thought were a little boring. But this is the shit. This is, in my opinion, one of the two essential vinyl releases of hers. This came out on Blank Form, the label that is putting out all these new Don Cherry Organic Music Society records. Nice sports score. Frequencies entering here. This is insane. My whole body being lifted. Hey Michael. We'll see. The artist, Michael, is Catherine Christer Hennix. Exactly, Jaden. This is called Khorasan Time Court Mirage 2014 live recordings of the expanded Just Intonation Ensemble. Indeed, Michael. She's pretty unique. As is the next one. Now is Michel Rodolfi. A new release of his Sonic Waters Underwater Music 1979-1987. Michel Rodolfi, French composer who started at the GRM, the Musique Concrète posse gang, and he was a young guy, so he developed this concept of finding a new context for the sound of the synthy, the synclavier, which he got from John Appleton. And as he was a resident of university in San Diego, Los Angeles, like in California back then, he found water to be a very interesting milieu for sound exploration and sound diffusion, sound broadcasting. So he started to do these gigs under the water and finding the qualities, the acoustic qualities of water. Like, what's funny is that the side one on this Sonic Waters, music for fresh water. Side 2, Sonic Waters, music for salt water. Finding different qualities depending on the quality of the water, obviously. I've seen him live twice, so we were all immersed in a swimming pool. You can see a little bit here how it goes. And it's basically it's a collection of tracks I already had on other records, and half of it is totally unreleased. His music was also concerned with the surf culture of of California in the early 80s in a way that is forgotten now. But apparently there was a scene of surfers that were really embracing all this, probably on the spiritual side of things. Yeah, Bodo. Jaden, that record is actually, I need to check it again, but I kind of find it the least interesting John Appleton record. I don't think that it really clicked the way it could have. But maybe I'm spoiled. I'll definitely revisit it soon. So this track is called Effractions, The New Atlantid. Oh yeah, because this is inspired by a by a text from Francis Bacon, not the artist, but the writer from the 16th century who was writing about a new lost continent where sound would be different from how we usually know it. Okay, and lastly, after that, something a little bit of release. I was talking about that on Davy's stream like a couple of hours ago. I mean, I really like this, but I'm also interested in hearing anything that uses these sounds, these synthesizers from back then and how they were used back then. So this has a historical value as well as an aesthetic value. Of course, it sounds very alien, you might say, which has its appeal, of course. But Michel Rodolfi, the same label Sub Rosa released a few years ago his desert music, like stuff that he recorded in the Nevada desert, and it's really spectacular. Michael, I know Nadja, the guitar player from South America, I believe, but I don't know Vampilia. You can tell me more about it when we cross our paths on some streams. And now, some jazz. Talk more about that, Michael, even if I know that's not really what gets you kicks. Yeah, no keyboards. That's all my synthesizers are all like that. This is an exceptional recording. It's Archishep in '74 at the French National Radio live. There's an audience. So you got Siegfried Kessler on piano, making this loop. He also plays some keyboards at the same time, as you can hear. Siegfried Kessler is a German pianist, free jazz, who spent most of his career in France. He released some amazing stuff on Futura. This also features Noel McGee on drums. Noel McGee is a West Indies drummer who's a French, basically he arrived in France and never left. I saw him play many times in bars in Paris. Sweetest guy. He's got one solo LP that is kind of funky free jazz. Not exactly my jam, but really cool guy. And the drumming here. You also got Bob Red on double bass, Pablo Kino on perks, and Archie on saxophone and vocals towards the end there. I think this is an extremely good introductory record, even if it's not a studio album. But this piece, things have got to change. It's 24 minutes long, 24 plus. Just going. This was put out by Transversal Disc, which is Jonathan Fitoussi, lovely guy, good musician, really good musician, electronic music, and hey Paul, it's a safe space for you here. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of jazz this year, new release, new music, and new release of archival material, which this is the case of. And this is just this is kind of the kind of records that kind of explains why so many people have, even the people who are more into avant-garde stuff in jazz, how difficult it is to care for jazz after a certain time in history. I know I'm saying something horrible right now, but does it get much better than this? Yeah, Jaden, the Parmigiani release was on the same label. Is what jazz guitar players do I like? I like Raymond Bonny. I like Monette Sudler. I like Derek Bailey. I really like Monette Sudler. She's amazing. I like Hans Reicher. With his custom-made guitars, for lack of better word. Guitar and jazz is very difficult for me. Usually. Towards the end, he starts singing and doing some kind of like slam poetry in French with sketchy grammar, which is great. And the people they love it. You can hear. But I guess that's it for today. I don't know when I'll be doing something, some other video. I guess next one probably will be more a topical one, or like something with a specific subject. There's been quite a few of these lately, me just playing new acquisitions. Siegfried Kessler, I tell you. The name most people in the US have never heard of, unfortunately. Yeah, Jaden. It just goes from strength to strength.
Now, while the man is flying over the place,
I mean, this is, for me, this is becoming insensitive. This is like a top 3 Chef record for me. It did me good.
Outside of us, inside of us, all around us, bring us to new
How do you guys hear it, by the way? How's the sound?
Where's that driving music man? Where can it be? That driving music man used to wear a black, talking about changes. Never know where I came from, could have been a cast or a show. I'm gonna press the sound to the sound. The music tell you where it's at. Changes, changes, changes.
So we're not even halfway through. See how already essential this is. Yeah, I made some changes with my gear. I worked on my speakers yesterday. I did some modifications and I hear it sounds much better. I don't know if that does an impact on you guys. Anyways, yeah, I don't know when I'll be back. Probably sooner than later. And I hope you guys enjoyed that and found some cues in this. So I'll leave it up so you can continue the conversation if there is one to be had in the comment below. Cheers. It's got to change.